Dear English people, are you guys alright?
So this Keith Lee thing is pretty darn funny to me. Everyone's freaking out because this random TikToker who rates food didn't have the best of reactions to having a potato jacket for the first time.
I'm gonna try to get everything in one scoop. Again, I'm going to it extremely open-minded. You never know.
And people in England are just upset.
These Americans have been eating these chemicals, yeah. That's why they can't eat British food and enjoy it.
So let's sit back, do some nail art, and talk about the Keith Lee controversy. And what better place to start than this super angry human?
Americans have the worst food taste in the world. And you know what furthers my point? Keith Lee. Keith Lee, I need a word with you. Do you know why? Because you have came to the capital of the best food in the world.
I know a lot of people who would disagree with that statement, but okay, we're listening.
And you don't enjoy any of our food? That just seems like you've got something wrong with you in America, that your palate is not quite right. It doesn't attune to our amazing food and capabilities over here.
I love how this went from talking to Keith Lee to suddenly insulting Americans and saying there must be something wrong with America because this one person from America doesn't like a specific kind of food or several different kinds of food in England. But okay, let's just keep listening.
Because you're telling me you had a full English breakfast and you called it bland. Bland. Beans. Do you call beans bland? You call beans bland.
We'll take a look at the actual video she's talking about when she says he calls beans bland, but also, who cares if he called beans bland? It was his personal opinion of how he thought those specific beans tasted. Why is that so offensive? She's acting like she personally made the food for him and he didn't like it, and that's not the case.
And then you had a spud, a jacket potato with beans and tuna, and you said you don't like it. You don't like it. You pulled a face.
He did do that because he personally did not like the food. I'm not understanding this reaction.
How dare you come to the capital of the food world, the best place on planet Earth for food, and you say it's bland. You say British food is bland. I'm starting to think the rest of the world has gone mad.
And I'm starting to think that you made an entire video ranting about something that really has nothing to do with you, but I guess anything for clicks, right? Why don't we take a moment to look at the Beans on Toast video.
Me and my family are officially in London, and it's 10 o'clock in the morning, so the first thing we have is breakfast. I got it. Let's try it. Rated 1 through 10. We didn't spend anything because this is from the hotel.
Okay, first of all, he does all of his review videos where he does this zooming in on his nose, and I think it's kind of funny. And also, he makes it clear he is reviewing a breakfast meal that he's got from this hotel. He starts by talking about what he has on the plate and how he doesn't recognize everything on it, and then he breaks down different things that he tries.
It's salted well. It's an egg. It's cooked very well in my opinion too. 6 out of 10. 4 out of 10. It's very thick cut hickory smoke. Woody rate bacon. 7 out of 10.
So far, I'm noticing that he seems to be rating it fairly decently for hotel food, even compared to like American hotel food.
I'm not gonna eat the beans just by themselves because it's just beans. I'm gonna put the beans on the toast. Beans on toast.
I'm sorry, but that is hilarious how long it took him to bite into that piece of toast. Come on.
In my opinion, there's no flavor other than like I said, a sweet ketchup, no salt, no seasoning. In my opinion, this is extremely low. 1 out of 10.
It is not his favorite. It doesn't have enough seasonings for his palate. Makes that very clear. It's his opinion. The amount of people so upset by his opinion over these beans is hilarious. There are people that say that he ate this English breakfast the wrong way.
Now, here's where I think Keith Lee got it wrong. A full English isn't meant to be eaten component by component like a tasting menu. It's a composed dish. I think the flavors are designed to work together. When I first tried the baked beans alone, I wasn't a fan either. I expected something heartier, something more like frijoles de la olla. Instead, they kind of leaned onto the sweeter side, but once I mixed them with the eggs, sausage, bacon, hash brown, and tomato, it all made sense. The richness of the sausage, the crispiness of the bacon, the earthiness of the mushroom, it all balanced out.
So basically, another American went to the same hotel. He tried it the way you're supposed to eat it. He had a better opinion. Everyone giving Keith Lee such a hard time about not knowing how to eat this is kind of funny when you think about how someone else might react to different kinds of food that they haven't tried from different cultures. Like,
I went to the UK and made tacos for a dozen people, and they ate it as separate ingredients.
weird. So you mean they didn't know exactly how you were supposed to eat it right away?
Just beans on toast, mate. Just get the breakfast, whisk it all together and chomp it down. You're rating it like it's a Michelin-star fucking restaurant. It's just a breakfast.
Now you'd think that the beans and toast would be the highlight of this whole thing, but no, actually the highlight is how he reacted to some potatoes.
Keith Lee is going absolutely viral because of his reaction to finally trying a jacket potato.
People were actually upset with how he reacted rather than his normal forthright scoring. To be fair, he actually didn't mean for this part to be shown. It was an accident on the part of some of the people in his crew.
Be aware that the behind the scenes of this entire review was already posted by somebody in my team by mistake, which is completely okay. But the way it was reacted to made me not want to post a review at all. Only reason I'm posting it is because I was asked for my opinion on multiple occasions. And I don't like the narrative that was spun that I was being disrespectful, when in reality, the owner was sitting right there while I was trying, and he saw my reaction and gave me a thumbs up.
This full review was released very recently, and up until this point, there was an absolute fallout of people just spinning around this narrative, speaking rather poorly not only of him, but of Americans in general.
Americans, we need to let you guys know that you are not qualified to judge UK food or European food or food from the rest of the world. And you might be like, why am I saying that? It's because you guys have never had proper food in your life. You guys are lab rats for the rest of the world. You guys are experiments. The food that you have in your country wouldn't be able to touch our lands at all.
What they didn't predict is that Americans are very spiteful and will clap back tenfold.
2/3 of this jackass potato came out of a can. This looks like something a 9-year-old gave to his parents because they said he could make dinner that night. There's like 4 different MREs I would eat before this. This shit looked like prison food, like something your dog threw up. I wouldn't give this to my worst enemy. It looks like at any moment it could start moving. This potato looks like it's an extra in The Last of Us.
Which has then led to other creators making recipes that are obviously better.
British food is so bad that only a black woman can fix it, because what even is this? This is the only beans on toast that's worth eating.
And videos debunking people's assumption about spice.
The funniest part about this British food versus American food discourse is British people revealing a fundamental lack of understanding of food science. Case in point, they're always going on about our use of things like onion powder and garlic powder, and they're like, we use fresh onions and fresh garlic. Yeah, we do too. But we use those powders because they are fundamentally different from onions and garlic. Do you know what paprika is? Paprika is just red peppers that have been crushed and dried. It's a dramatically different flavor. Red pepper is not paprika. Like, you can't make chicken paprikas with red peppers. Like, are you getting this? Like, raisins are not grapes. They used to be grapes, they're not grapes. Onion powder is not onion and garlic powder is not garlic. And you would understand these concentrates if you knew how to cook.
With some added history lessons about British food.
And the craziest part is that if you look at English recipes from hundreds of years ago, English food used to be spiced. Recipes from the Middle Ages and the Renaissance use lots of saffron, nutmeg, clove, ginger. And then recipes from Victorian England would use mustard, horseradish, cayenne pepper. It's just in the 20th century that England decided that traditional English food needs to be bland.
Debunking misinformation about American food.
My friend, I have to say that was one of the most dishonest representations of history that I have heard in a while. Look, I understand that it can be rather upsetting when people make fun of a food or a culture that is associated with that food, like in the case of the British and beans on toast. I get it. But this claim that Americans are just as gross because they have chipped beef on toast and it's so popular here that's false. That's completely false. I can tell you this right now, but not only has the majority of people within the United States not ever had chipped beef on toast, the majority of people have never even heard of it in the first place.
And other British people reinforcing the opinion that American food is overall better.
I've tried American food, I've tried British food. I feel like I can give my opinion on this. And I've been telling you.
Some of the most interesting discourses to come out of this is the realization that black culture in America is very, very different than British black culture.
Can you really compare cottage pie and sausage and mash, bangers and mash to soul food, American soul food, black American food? You can't, because they have a right to have a thing called black American culture and black American food, whereas there is no such thing as black British food or black British culture. There is only African or Caribbean culture or African or Caribbean cuisine in Britain. And even when we do cook the British foods, we all know we put a little black spin on it. We don't cook it the same way the white people do. So why you guys are choosing that this is the hill you want to die on in the comment section is beyond me. I've said it before and I'll say it again. No such thing as black British culture. You guys cannot compare yourself to the Americans because they have a much deeper history of being black Americans in America. We don't have that.
I could go on and on and on showing all of these videos of British people crashing out and American people fighting back, but I think now would be a good time to talk about the full video that Keith Lee finally released of his review of Spud Bros.
Me and my family are in Soho, London, England, and inside these containers is some of the craziest food I've ever tried in my entire life. I got it. Let's try it. A rated 1 through 10. We spent 26 pounds or $32.76. The name of this place is Spud Bros.
With the original small clip of Keith Lee trying the jacket potato, Spud Bros released several videos in response, and other people have reacted in a way to support Spud Bros. But for now, we'll continue with Keith Lee's video review.
2 owners walked up to us while we were standing in the middle of the line, and they said they was waiting for us to come. He tried to give us everything for free, but you know that's not how we roll. We know we pay for everything. And I told him straight to his face, I'm gonna be honest. Please don't be upset at me. Please don't think I'm calling your food Briggle Brackle with fizzy winkers, any of that. I'm just being honest.
Interesting. You wouldn't have known that they had that conversation based on some of the videos that Spud Bros released.
Again, this is tuna with mayo, crispy onions, tram sauce, which is like a spicy mayo, butter garlic or garlic butter, cheese, and a potato. I'm gonna try to get everything at once. Again, I'm going to it extremely open-minded. You never know. I'm fully aware that the behind the scenes of this entire review was already posted by somebody in my team by mistake, which is completely okay. But the way it was reacted to made me not want to post a review at all. Only reason I'm posting it is because I was asked for my opinion on multiple occasions. And I don't like the narrative that was spun that I was being disrespectful, when in reality, the owner was sitting right there while I was trying, and he saw my reaction and gave me a thumbs up about it.
Wait. The owner was there watching him try it, and he was being fully transparent, and everyone's reaction is just oversimplified and based on nothing? That's not like TikTok.
The owner sitting right there, he just gave me a thumbs up. I was asked for my opinion. I gave my opinion, which was personally, it didn't work for me. Specifically because the amount of texture and flavors that was in the dish itself were not only extremely prominent on its own, but also clashed. So the fishiness from the tuna, the sweetness from the beans, the spiciness from the tram sauce, and the creaminess from the potato did not work well to me, in my opinion.
Your opinion? Oh no, that's not allowed. You're an American. You can't have an opinion and you don't have taste buds.
The thing that wasn't posted on Snap was my wife's and my cousin's reaction, which was this. My wife loves tuna. So.
Oh, that's the potato right there. Really, Keith? This is gas. I like it a lot.
What'd you give it?
Like an 8.
Gasp, his wife likes it? Weird. It's almost like people have different opinions on food, and Keith Lee is just one person.
And my cousin just tried the tuna. He gave it a 7 out of 10.
You wouldn't have known this if you didn't watch the video, but he tried more than one type of potato there.
The curry chicken. Now this should be more combined because you can see it's a full ordeal. In my opinion, this one's better. It's a lot of flavor. Like, I'm talking about flavor the second it touched my tongue. It's spicy. I love the crispy onions on top. It's a lot. I can only see myself eating a few bites of this. But as it is, this is a 7 out of 10 for me. Like I always say, everybody's taste buds is different. And as always after this, I pray and hope that they continue to reach their target audience. God bless you. Have an amazing day. Y'all be safe.
They were indignant over something that was just a little clip of this entire review. During this time, Spud Bros was releasing videos in response to the small clip that Keith Lee originally released.
Why on earth would you give Keith Lee tuna, cheese and beans? He's an American.
I'm sorry, I I just thought it's the people of Britain love cheese, beans and tuna. I just thought Keith Lee would like it.
Looking at them now, you can tell that they're being kind of sarcastic, but without the full context, people took it as, oh no, Spud Bros is going to be poorly affected. Now we have to go and band together and support them. Spud Bros has since released a follow-up video in response to Keith Lee's full review.
Yeah, we just tried to make a bad situation like good, I suppose, and we just did a bit of like light-hearted banter and a bit of sarcasm there as well. Anyway, cheese, beans and tuna is not to everybody's taste. We absolutely get that. I mean, his wife likes it and his cousin. If my wife likes something, that means I like it, right? But there's absolutely no hard feelings there. Respect that Keith Lee come. He's one of the biggest food reviewers out there. And now we're seeing the full review. Yeah, we completely get it now.
So I guess that is that. It probably seems like I'm a huge Keith Lee fan, but really I'm just trying to show the true information. Anyway, what do you think of my nails? I think they're interesting. If you liked this video, be sure to check out some of my other commentary videos. And with that, I'm out of here. Bye!